So I'm revisiting this topic because I had a couple of groups that were requested that I did not comment on. This is concerning the hip hop and R&B aesthetic in K-pop. The series kind of consisted of me giving my opinion on each member and how well they pull off the hip hop and R&B aesthetic and swag. As we know that a lot of the aesthetic is performative, not every member can pull it off. Some of these idols have perfected the aesthetic, and some of them have like real swag in this aesthetic, and some of them, not so much. TXT is really easy for me because I don't think they've given a lot of that aesthetic. But let's go member by member. I picked this picture of him because he looks more mature here. And a lot of times when I see him, it's almost like a little boy in his mannerism, the eye go, and the things that he does that, in my opinion, are they feel juvenile, but I'm at a big age, so it might just be me. But I don't think he pulls off the hip hop and R&B aesthetic well. Once again, I haven't seen TXT in this aesthetic much, but I think if they were to do it, just based off the performance that he has given so far, I think the pop aesthetic fits him very well. This gorgeous creature, I think that if given the opportunity, more opportunities to perform the aesthetic, that he would be able to pull it off a little bit. But I still think the overall feeling of the group gives pop. But I still think that there's a strong case of Boongyu doing this aesthetic and pulling it off pretty well. Definitely has a little swag to him. It gives that really K-drama poppy aesthetic, but at the same time has its own kind of swag and riz to him, I think. But I don't think that he gives off or could pull off the hip hop and R&B aesthetic well. I'm unsure. Like I said, TXT doesn't perform this aesthetic enough for me to kind of really, get into it. But do I think he could pull it off? I think he could pull it off. I like him. When I first started watching the group, he was my least favorite member to watch. But in becoming, I'm not Moa or anything like that. But I do like his swag a little bit more now than I did at the beginning of discovering this group. How convincing it would be, not sure. But I think that if given the task of hip hop and R&B aesthetic, I think that he would, perform well. I think Yejin has the most potential in pulling off this aesthetic. He has unique qualities in his vocal performance and a different level of passion in his dance than the other members, in my opinion. And I think, again, if given the task of the hip hop and R&B aesthetic, that he could pull it off probably the best in the group. But overall with this group, I think that the boy charm and pop aesthetic that they kind of stuck with is the right direction. I am a huge fan of the Cat and Dog era for them, but I think this latest single from them is amazing. Coming Back for More is a masterpiece in my opinion. So props to them, and that's my take.